Okay, welcome back, folks. To Dragon Quest XI. We're going to go ahead and complete our journey into town today, but we're going to make a few more stops on the way. It's also in part my goal to get to level 5 before we call it quits for the day. Yeah, so you can see you can't actually get to the Emerald Coast as well. Needless to say, we'll be going there later, but not just at this time. Now, like I said before, when it comes to these repeat fights, I'm going to start to cut them out from this point. So if I do end up fighting anything that I've already fought, I'm going to just cut that portion out. Now, as you can see, sometimes you will encounter enemies even at gallop on your horse that you're not going to be able to just knock over. That's because these enemies are considered strong enough to pose a potential challenge to you. So, just be aware of that. Okay, here we have another new enemy, a Fright Bulb. Again, not anything too terribly difficult, especially at our strength, but it can give us some problems. It can also cause you to lose attacks if need be. So, bit more of a challenge, but not really. Not in the end. Here's another new enemy for us, a Hammerhood. These enemies are unique because they can usually hit you for a little bit of damage. They can do that, in which case they don't do any damage. Or if they get lucky, they can hit you for a critical hit, which is far less pleasant. And then this should be the last new enemy of this area. A toady. And this is why, of course, I'm carrying some medicinal herbs on me. Okay, we should be almost done here. There's only one more thing I want to find, which I think I may have accidentally passed up on accident. So, accidentally passed up on accident. Wonderful use of my words, right? But anyway, I do believe there was an item I forgot. Ah, there we go. Okay, it looks like I'm 12 XP from my next level. Like I said, I do want to get to level 5 before going into town, so looks like I will engage in a couple more fights before heading over. Okay, so initially I was going to cut this out, but looks like we finally get to see our first instance of pep. So this is what being pepped up is. Basically it's a boost to all of your attributes, gives you the opportunity to hit harder, do critical hits more often, Eventually it'll give you access to special abilities, but we don't have access to a party right now, so don't necessarily need to worry about that. And here we get to level 5. The reason I wanted to show this one to you is this is when we get access to not only the heal spell, but we actually get our first set of skill points, which means we get access to the character builder. Now once we're here, we can either choose to, spend them later, in which case we don't even go to the screen, or we can cancel out of the screen if we don't want to spend them. Or you can go in and see what kind of skills you can learn. So for instance, if I went down the luminary path, I can get a pep chance plus 5%, which gives me a slightly higher chance of getting pepped up. Here we have Greatsword Guard, which gives us a stance that increases the odds of us doing a parry. Or here we get Flame Slash, which gives us a fire attack to use with our swords. Personally, I like this one the most. And then of course, although we don't have any more points right now, as we get more points, we can come here, get some additional attack power, or get a critical hit chance increase. We also started to work our way to opening up this, which will have a special ability for us as well. You can even plan out to a certain extent what kind of abilities you want to get later. Like for, of course, with swords, one of the top abilities you want to eventually get is Metal Slash. But see, even here with swords, you can get parry chances added to your abilities, which you have both parry and block to help you out with reducing damage. So again, great swords. I just don't see them as that useful. Again, my opinion on that may change sometime in the future, but just right now, I don't see that happening. But see, now that we've hit level 5, even the platypuses go flying with our horse. And so at long last we've made it to Heliodor. Now, of course, we will go see the king, but we have a lot of stuff to do before we get there. Now, I do like the fact that he does react when you break his stuff. Of course, isn't going to prevent me from looting his home because, after all, I'm the hero and I have to collect my hero tax. So whether he likes it or not, I'm here to collect. Now here's a bookshelf with a red book in it. Red books usually mean either additional story elements or sometimes something far more useful. Now, Seeds of Deafness. Deafness increases your critical hit rate. Also increases your steal chance once you get a character that has that ability. Needless to say, I'll tell you who I'm going to give that to later. Yeah, I love how that guy was so certain about nobody getting access to this. Maybe he shouldn't have had a convenient ladder sitting outside of his house to give you access to his chimney. But since he did, I'll of course take advantage of that, climb into his house and unlock that door, because guess whose house this is? Hey, buddy. Not only did I successfully barge into your house, but I actually found a way into your secret room. Find your nice little treasure. Also, might as well equip the charm here for an extra point of defense. Any little bit helps. Okay, so here's the armor and weapon shops. Now, of course, I will go ahead and grab a leather shield because that is quite useful, but like I mentioned before, the leather armor, 5 more points of defense is tempting, but I'm going to go without. The leather hat, definitely going to skip, but I will grab the leather shield. I just find the slight increase to my MP and HP a little bit more worth it. Of course, I could be wrong, but I'll go with that for now. Now, of course, here we have a new greatsword and a new regular sword. Again, greatsword only has a 1% parry chance, which I still don't find all that valuable. But 5 extra points of attack definitely are worth it. Now to just clear some inventory space, get these items into my equipment bag, just so they're not taking up so much room in my regular inventory. Now, I would normally move an extra medicinal herb into my inventory, but since I recently gained level 5 and of course gained the heal spell, I find that a little bit less necessary. But I will still carry a few. Eventually I'll drop it down to 2 because I just don't need them that badly in my inventory. But I will still carry at least a couple medicinal herbs just in case, because, I mean, I can always run out of MP. Okay. Well, folks, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for today. Tomorrow we will continue our collections for Heliodor. After that, we will, this is what I promised to remember to, talk to all the townsfolk before advancing the plot. And then once we do that, we shall go into Heliodor Castle and take over our business with the king. I wonder what our meeting with the king is going to be like. But find out next time on Dragon Quest XI.